Welcome everyone back to the show. I'm Blake, founder of Team Pickleball. Today we have Timmy Manzano. Do you like to go by Timmy? Is that
Everybody
okay?
calls me Timmy. If you were
Okay.
to call me Tim, everybody would say who?
Okay, great. We're going to be chatting about college pickleball and also urban pickleball, which you were working on starting down in Austin. That's up and running, I think, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
there's two locations. So the owner of Urban Pickleball downtown, essentially a real estate developer, approached him and asked him to open up some more courts. And he said, sure, if you'll let me bring in Timmy for it. So
Nice.
they said yes. And so I'm helping with the second location, but I'm always at the OG spot downtown.
Great. So give us a snapshot of what that is.
Yeah, so hopefully I do it justice for Jay, who's the owner of Urban. It was his whole idea. All credit to him. He's been so great to us. I'll get into that when I talk about collegiate pickleball. But essentially, he created these courts for his family to play on, and then where it's situated is on top of a parking garage with high rises surrounded all around. So everybody started seeing these courts and people started driving to the top of this parking garage. And he was like, you know what, this is pretty cool. And all these people started inquiring and started out with two courts and now they have six. And so just people started pouring in from just, I guess, the look of it and the feel. I mean,
Right.
it started out as a family thing, right? And so the feel was, hey, it's family and it's members only.
Right.
And the difference between Urban to me and other facilities around Austin is you pay for a membership and you just play. Like there's
Yep.
no pay for membership and then it cuts down your hourly cost or whatever else. It's just you get in on membership and you just play, which is pretty unique to the space. Most places they either have memberships and then you pay for a reduced court time,
Right.
or it's just paying for court time.
Sure.
So it's definitely a different feel out there. Everybody knows everybody. There's a huge wait list. I mean, people are literally begging him to get in and skip the
Sure.
wait list, and he's just like, whoa, slow down. So it's sort of just, to me, it's just like a big family. Everybody's on one group chat, and
Nice.
it's just a completely different feel than most clubs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the look of it is really the selling point too. It's like, where is that? I know when you sent it over, I was just like, what the heck is this? Like, it's on the rooftop of somewhere. And I feel like you guys did a really good job of making it look nice. Like, it doesn't look like a parking lot. Like,
That's all Jada's
so
wife.
good.
So once you enter, the walls are ivy, and then the courts are bright blue, umbrellas bright blue, and
Right.
it's just a little like
It looks like a sweet place to play, I gotta say. So
it's so
yeah.
cool. So when you're in Austin, you'll have to come.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe we back up. Let's just talk about your story in getting into pickleball. Like, where did that start? I assume it started before you started competing in competitions. So
Absolutely, yeah. So no tennis background, no nothing, but I played football in high school and just other sports throughout my life, and so that competitive drive was always in me. And when I went off to college, essentially like totally lost all that competition. And I was at a ranch one day, and these 50-year-old men were just whooping me
right.
around the court, and I couldn't take that. It hurt the old
Yep.
ego. And what is this game? I thought it was for grandparents to,
Mhm.
and I was just getting run around by 50-year-old men with a beer
Yep.
in their hand.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, this is not okay. But if these guys can play with a beer in their hand and there's a pro scene, I was like, this sport is just going to explode. I just fell in love. And when I get onto something, I get addicted to it. I was out on the rec courts every single day, just pestering the better players. Like, let me play with you. Let me play with you. Let me play with you. I was horrible. I couldn't get a serve in. I was hitting like lob shots, and
Right.
Lord knows, I think I've erased that from my memory, but I was so bad. And just the community of pickleball, especially in Austin, there's a pastor here, his name's John, and everybody calls him Sensei.
Sure.
And he's actually now helping coach the collegiate team.
Sweet.
But back then, about a year and a half ago when I first started playing, he was just like, all right, settle down. Here's what you're gonna do. And so I credit him. He was my teacher at the
That's
start.
great. Yeah, you
And
got to
then
find someone like that.
absolutely, it helps. It helps for sure. And then shortly after that, I got to average level, maybe.
Sure.
Maybe I was like a 3.5 on my best days, a 4.0. And I was playing at the courts, and I was going to UT at this time, and just I was like, oh, there's got to be a pickleball club where everybody can join. It'll be huge. So I start trying to create this club. And it turns out there was already a club there at the school. So I was
Nice.
just like, all right, I felt kind of dumb, because then when I reached out to eventually Jack Monroe, I don't know if you're familiar with the person, but he's a beast and someone you should get on your podcast. And he's 19, just insane pickleball player, plays with both hands. That's kind of his like shtick.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, there's already a club and there's no spots like for leadership positions, but why don't you just join? Because he didn't know anything about me. And so I joined, went to tryouts, somehow made the team. It was really informal at this time.
Yeah.
And that was last September. Jack and I quickly became really, really good friends. And he was like, all right, dude, don't do this. You suck when you do this, do this. And so it was just like really straightforward, like get better because we're going to play tournaments. And so we went to Atlanta in September. That's what the tryouts are for. I think we placed 29th out of 32.
Sure.
And essentially, just left like, this is so much fun, but we're so far from the top. There's a girl on the club. Her name's Zoya Khan. She's the president now of Long Run Pickleball Club, but she's a beast. And so she was doing her own thing too at this time. And then we went to Indianapolis and placed 9th out of 32.
Sure.
So big jump from 29.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, I think our club right now, Instagram following's at 1,200 followers. And that's, again, led by Jack and Zoya. So they've been doing a great job running the club, and it's been really, really cool to see. And I don't even know how many members we have in our group. Yeah. Hundreds.
Yeah.
We went to Indianapolis in January. First tournament, September, Atlanta, 29th. Mm-hmm. January, Indianapolis, 9th. And then Indianapolis in January, Jack and I ended up winning the whole men's duper collegiate championship. Yeah. We beat Florida in the finals, and that was pretty cool. And then Jack also won in singles as well.
Cool.
So it was a big deal for us. Just huge jump from where we were at this time. I mean, Jack hates it when I reflect back on this, because I was telling everybody that we were going to win the whole thing. And as cocky as that sounds, I was like, I have Jack on my team. We're going to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I was sort of just telling myself that to get my confidence up. And sure. Jack was like, you got to stop telling people we're going to win the whole thing. Like, let's go and let's try it. Let's win. And, right. And then we talk. I was like, Jay says I must have told the entire Urban Club downtown and plus 200 more people. So nice. It was pretty funny just because I was so pumped up that Jack finally got to compete in a tournament with us. He wasn't there in Indianapolis.
Sure.
Just because of his other tournament obligations and whatnot. So essentially we won, and ProXR sponsored us beforehand. So Jack and I were on the phone with them, just trying to figure out how we're going to fly the team up and everything. So like, huge shout out to ProXR. They've been a huge help with financials,
sure,
paddles, and just everything that goes into a Longhorn club. Pickleball club. And so, yeah, just a big shout out to ProXR. They already sponsored Jack, but then they were willing to take a flyer on us. And that's been a really cool connection to have.
Yeah.
And so that's a rambling way of saying the Longhorn Pickleball Club since September has, 100x. And it's just now started. I mean, I'm taking a step back from the collegiate scene this semester just because I have a lot of other responsibilities and focusing on graduating in December.
Yeah.
So I'll be done. And there's a ton of new talent. I mean, I think there's 10 guys and 10 women on the competitive team, which we were scrambling to find girls just to take with us. Like Zoya, we were trying to find her a partner, and because she's an absolute beast and wins all these money balls. I remember when Zoya and I first met, we were just like drilling together, and now she's playing with the best in Austin. So it's really cool to see her growth. The collegiate scene sort of placed us in this community of achievers, go-getters, and everybody does their own thing. Jack, he's in school to get a job and work, but he's also a pro pickleball player. Right. I don't know another sport that would allow that to happen, especially the level that Jack competes at. Pickleball is just so cool in that sense.
Yeah. I think college pickleball is super interesting because a lot of people don't know anything about it, but it is kind of where a lot of these players are coming from and are going to be coming from. And it's a big growing scene that I think people just are like unaware of. So maybe how do you see college pickleball? I mean, you were saying, you were scrambling just to even pull a team together. but then you are now winning top place at these tournaments. How many other schools are involved at this point? Like, I mean, we have no idea, right? So
Yeah. So, in terms of a number on colleges, I actually don't know the total amount of colleges playing. I mean, there's got to be over 100 teams now. I know all the big schools have teams.
yeah.
Like it's in Texas, so A&M, TCU,
Hmm.
Baylor has a
Yep.
team, and then Texas. I think Texas Tech has a team as well.
Sure.
Just in terms of the growth of collegiate pickleball, I couldn't even put a number on it. I've seen so many people come and join our club, so many people join other clubs, and then it's just a community on Instagram at this point. I mean, I stay in touch with the Utah teams. I mean, they've even invited me up to come stay with them and hike Zion. So,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a really cool community. So, where I see it going is just as more money pours into these teams, I see potential scholarship
Yeah.
opportunities. I
Yeah.
see the growth from mixing with other sports, like our football team obviously has huge names and big names in collegiate football, for example,
Yeah.
just big names at Texas. And so I could see us doing things with that and alumni. It'd be cool to see Matthew McConaughey on a pickleball court. It's so untapped right now.
Yeah.
There's so much untapped potential.
It does feel like that for sure. And especially just with how much money is being poured in, even just at the, the pro level. But I assume that's going to trickle down because, I mean, there's going to be room to bring people up into that space and make that bigger too. So I guess, let's say someone wants to get involved, they're heading to college and they're like, this sounds sweet and I love pickleball. How would you recommend them to get involved into something like that?
Yeah, the best way is UT has something called Horns Link. And so you can just register or sign up for the club, join the
Yeah.
group B. And if they have trouble there, they can literally just DM the Instagram Longhorn Pickleball or come to an event that will be posted on the Instagram, or just reach out to individual pickleball players if you see them on the Instagram. Everybody's so cool and so nice. It's really easy to get started and meet friends. I've met so many people in the collegiate scene. And it's funny because when you ask that question, I just don't even know where to begin when it comes to the growth. It really blows my mind how fast we've grown. Yeah. But it's
That's
a team
cool.
effort. There's a lot of people putting a lot of time into it.
Okay. So you're taking a semester off. What does that mean for you? Like pickleball for you? Are you pausing? Where do you see that headed for yourself?
It seems funny to say like, oh, I'm taking a step back from pickleball.
Yeah.
I'm still playing with everybody and it's good community. It's just where the competitive scene is now. It's, there's gonna be practices and people are taking it really seriously.
Yes.
And there's just somebody out there I know at our school and in our club who's just hungry for that spot to compete with Jack and to play with Zoya. It was sort of just, hey, I'm going to focus on career come January, but I'm here as a help. And I grew up in Austin. So there's a lot of people that I know that would, a lot of companies and friends of friends that I'd love to be a resource to help pour into the pickleball club. I'm sort of just team spirit at this point, trying to make everybody smile and stay out of the politics and just make everybody happy.
Right. No, I mean, everyone needs that. Right. And it's cool that you're playing at a certain level where you could jump in and be a real resource to these people that are just trying to still like grow in that spot. So that's sweet. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. And I guess let's plug, how do people get involved with Urban Pickleball? Let's say they're down in Texas or wherever your locations are. How would they sign up?
Absolutely.
There's a waiting list. Do they need to get on that?
Yeah, so it's exclusive. It's one of the hottest club. No, just kidding. But it is exclusive in the sense of Jay is just a great guy and people are drawn to that. And he's just like, for him, it's for profit, but he didn't do it to make money.
Sure.
And so it's sort of just like he needs to add more courts if he wants more people to play because he doesn't want his community now to not be able to book courts. It's sort of hard for him to juggle that, but he's put in so much time and effort into those courts. I don't envy his position just because he's dealing with 200 people daily who want to come play pickleball. But how you get involved is at this point, I don't even think there's a link on Urban Pickleball ATX on the Instagram. You just really DM Urban Pickleball ATX or somebody with Jay's number and you text him, then he can put you on the waiting list. And he doesn't really play favorites at all. So people are thinking like, oh, I'm going to come skip the wait list or pay him some money. He's just like, You gotta wait. So in terms of pickleball ATX downtown, just reach out to Jay through Instagram and try to get on the waiting list, or be friends with a member and come pay a guest fee. There's a guest fee out there where people just pay, one fee and come play with other members. But I could send you some more information on that because I'm sure
Yeah.
Jay will be like, why didn't you tell him this? So Urban Pickleball Barton, which is off a road called Mopac, and at the intersection of Spyglass and Mopac, Jay was asked to open up 2 more courts, and we threw them on the top of that parking garage for an office building. And so the tenants can play on there. We have a link in our bio where you can go reserve courts hourly or sign up for a membership. Go into that link and
Right.
seeing if there's courts available or any memberships. And it'll sort of just be the same feel, just good people who come play whenever you want. It's Bluetooth lock, so people come and go, and it's just a really cool community. So I guess just reach out to the Instagrams.
Yeah.
It's just sort of how we're doing it right now.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's casual, but it works. It sounds like there's too many people. It sounds like to even keep up with. So yeah, get in on the list if you're interested for sure.
Yeah, and so we threw up the same courts, just in a different location, just for more people South Austin to play.
Yeah.
And it was really just due to the lack of court availability and the office building allowing it for their tenants. So it's just, again, just another cool community.
Great. Okay, well, I think that's a good place to wrap up. It was great chatting with you. Thanks for jumping on, and I'm sure we'll stay in touch, and we'll make sure to put the links for people to get involved down below. So thanks for chatting.
Absolutely. Thank you.